A lion would play with its cubs, roll on its back, exposing its stomach, its most vulnerable part. And when it's time to hunt, he turns into a completely different beast. Because guess what? The cubs need to eat. And he does what needs to be done. As men, we need to have this balance too. Unlike lions, we have language, we can express ourselves, we can verbalize our struggles and conflicts to our trusted loved ones. So that when it's time to work or to build or to hunt or whatever, right? The focus is just on that. We're not bothered by nagging emotions that we've bottled up. Welcome to my channel, guys. I'm Valentin, and I am so curious to hear what you think about the ideas I'm about to propose to you. And speaking of some ideas as well, if you'd like to check out some of my videos, do that. If you like them, subscribe so that we can link up in the future. You get me? But anyway, in the words of Chris Bumstead, he needs to be a killer who cries. You know, when he said that, what actually came to mind was Kobe Bryant. Because Kobe was a savage, man. Like, was such an absolutely dominating force on the court, but when he was outside, you could tell that, he was so gentle with his daughters and he loved his wife. He was not perfect, but you could see that dynamic. And I think I've seen him cry on camera a few times as well. Like, you can tell he's a man who's in touch, right, with his emotions and stuff like that, and he's committed to growing his emotional maturity. And also, you see him in the basketball court, just absolutely dominating. Like, the Black Mamba mentality. Like, even the way he's looking at you is different, because he's just in a different mindset that allows him to perform at his best. And these are some of the things that I wish most men would embody and understand. That being in touch with your emotions that's not a death sentence, and it doesn't have to be extreme. You don't always have to be this wimpy, sad person. No, you can just show it to the people you care about. Like, I don't know, maybe your wife, your girlfriend, or even just your family and your brothers, just to show them that side of you, people that you trust. And this also ties into something I've heard with my videos as well when I make them. The pushback I get is that, oh, no, don't show your emotions to women, that's weak, don't do that. Or some guys who are just basically saying that their partners left them after that, or something went wrong and stuff like that, which I completely understand. That is not uncommon, and I'm not turning a blind eye to it. Like, it doesn't happen. What I usually propose is that, listen, if a woman leaves you or starts acting funny because you were vulnerable with her, she's just not the one, brother. Like, that's just, and when you see that, most of the times you have to just understand that perhaps that person doesn't know how to even show up for themselves. So how can they even show up for you? So when you are showing your most vulnerable side, hoping that, okay, this is a strong person that I have next to me, and they just turn out to be flimsy, they make it seem like it's your fault, because they don't know how to be there when a man shows his emotions. And there's nothing wrong with that. But some people are not going to admit that openly, because they'll just flip it and try to make it your fault. I mean, we can all agree that not all women know how to handle emotions, right? So that doesn't mean that your feelings as a man are invalid, or you shouldn't be feeling those certain emotions because someone you met once didn't know how to handle those emotions when you showed them. So as men, I know it's not very common. It's like, oh no, it's not very common, because most men are afraid of that. Because it's fear, bro. Why else would you not want to do that? It's fear. And be honest with yourself. I'm not trying to like ridicule any man that maybe, oh, you're scared, but it's okay to be scared, because clearly you are. You're scared that if you show your emotions to a woman, she's just gonna use that against you, or she's not gonna respect you any longer, which is true, and it happens. But you also need to understand that the people who do that, the women who would do that, are women who are not emotionally mature themselves. Because if someone is really emotionally mature, they'll show up for you, and they'll be so happy that you shared with them, right? And then again, which is why I'm saying, that person also needs to know that, yo, when it comes to handling business, this guy is that kind of man, right? So because if there's only one narrative, this is what's happening to countries like Africa, as you can see, right? Our narrative is that there's only a specific archetype of a man that comes from the African community. I think some people have spoke about this at length as well. It's that you don't understand like how different narratives help you as a person and as a community as well, because narratives are important. And if you're only the serious guy, the one who never sheds a tear, the strong man who's always got... Look, let's talk about Andrew Tate for a minute, right? If you are interested in psychology and know different things about the brain and personalities and everything and healing, and you would look at Andrew Tate and realize that my guy is dealing with some stuff. He might spin it like his dad was the best dad in the world, but his dad not being present in the home, it did something to him. So he has material wealth, but spiritually and emotionally, he's broke to me. Like, I would not go to Andrew Tate to understand things about spirituality and all of that. In life, they say we emulate the people who we want to be like, you know? And in business-wise, yes, have that mentality of cutthroat, let me go, 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 go. Whereas when it comes to cultivating that spirituality and emotional growth, there are other people who are much better equipped at that. And you know, I'm not talking down on him, like saying, I'm just saying, like, I would not want to be him in that sense, because his emotional and spirituality are, to me, from what I've heard, nah, bro, I wouldn't want to follow that in my life. Whereas in business, yes, I would take that approach of just, I'm cold, cutthroat, I'm getting things done, I work hard, right? Yes, it's a competition. Let's get them. If they don't get me, I get them. Like all of that. Like, you know, just in business, yes, completely, but not relationships. You have to think of life in terms of sections, and something called the wheel of life comes to mind here, because the wheel of life, there are different areas of your life that you can focus on, and you can rate them to see like which ones you're doing well in and which ones you're not doing so well in. And if you're too much to one side, there's an imbalance there, right? So you need to focus on other parts of your life, such as, you know, physical health, mental health, all of that, like, because you're a well-rounded person, because life is not just one thing. Life is multifaceted. For instance, to kind of go back to the example I was making, Jay Shetty, I would absolutely listen to Jay Shetty any day, bro. Like, when it comes to about growth, bro, my guy was a monk. He knows what he's talking about. He's enlightened. He's a very wise man. So yes, when it comes to spirituality, I would listen to Jay Shetty. But I wouldn't listen to him when it comes to things such as, how can I target my rare deltoids in a way that isolates the muscle and doesn't allow the trapezius to take over? Like, no, I would not listen to Jay, because he doesn't know anything about lifting, you know, because that's not what he talks about. I'm not saying he probably lifts. I don't know. He probably lifts, okay? Jesus, sure. What I was saying is, I just wouldn't like listen to him and be like, oh, he can like tell me how to isolate my bicep from my trap. Like, come on. Yeah. I would obviously be seeking advice from the people who I can see the result from, right? Just like in Jay, you can see the results in his community. So I guess the one thing that so many people are preaching is finding a balance, brother. Be that warrior who can also cry, right? And how do you do that? You fill the gaps. You fill the gaps by finding the people that have the same philosophies that align with your values, and just adopt them and just be a version of yourself with those people's influences. Because like it or not, brother, as men, you just have to get it. Like, there's no, and that's so many people talk about this. Like, that is the only way you feel good about yourself as a man. If you're conquering something. And bro, it doesn't have to be like, listen, you can be the best chef. Look at Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay does his thing. And he's masculine. Maybe a little bit too masculine, right? But like, you can see like, yo, my guy Ramsay, he's a great chef, right? But also he's got that edge to him as well. So you see, there are different narratives, is what I was saying before. We don't all have to be the same archetype. Learn your archetypes. When it comes to archetypes, male archetypes, I think I'm gonna do probably another video on like just based on archetypes, which, because I think it's a cool topic and you can never speak enough about it. But yeah, learn your archetypes, figure out which one you are, or how you can get all those archetypes within you to work for you, and how you can make them work, right? Because we're not all built the same. We all have different skills. We all have different attributes that set us apart as men. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, or like the video, because it helps the channel grow. It helps other people know about us as a community, and we can reach more men. So yeah, let's go. Get clicking. Come on, G. Anyway, appreciate you so much for watching. I'll speak to you next week, my friends. Until next time.